Hello everyone, nice meeting you again. I welcome you back to this channel. Thanks for supporting my video by giving a thumbs up. I appreciate you all. And if this is your first time you watch my video, I welcome you to this channel. Just click on the red button, the subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and share it as well. Thank you. What I have today is how to make a beautiful peplum gown for children. And I promise you will really enjoy this tutorial if you take your time to watch it to the end. Now, the length of this gown is 36 inches, while the top length is 12.5 inches. Now, I have the bust for this gown to be 28.5 inches, while the waist 24.5 inches. Now I have the shoulder 12.5 inches. So I'm going to be working on the length of this gown and as well the waist of this gown first. Now I said the length is 36 inches. Now the top length is 12.5 inches. Now the first thing, I shall be subtracting 12.5 inches, that is for the length, the top length, from the total length, that is the full length, 36. So 12.5 inches, that is 36 inches minus 12.5 inches. I have 23.5 inches. So, but I'm going to add 1 inch. So that gives me 24.5 inches. So the 24.5 inches is the length of this peplum which I shall be cutting out. Now that is for the length. Now for the waist, I said the waist is 24.5 inches. So because this peplum is 180 degree, I shall be cutting 180 degree in 2 pieces. So I shall be doing a little calculation, and the calculation is the waist, which is 24.5 inches. I'm going to divide it by 3.5 inches. So whatever I get is what I shall be using to cut out this place to give me the waist of this peplum. So having done my calculation, I have 3.75 inches, that is less than 4 inches. That's what I shall be cutting out. So I have it here. Right from this tip is where I will place my tape rule. So I have it here. Less than 4 inches. So this is what I shall be taking round to this place. So with this calculation, I've also considered the zipper allowance. So the zipper allowance is also inclusive in this calculation I've made. So this is it. Now going to the length, the calculation we made the other time in terms of the length of this peplum is 24.5 inches. So I'm going to measure my 24.5 inches, and I have it here. As you can see, from the edge there, I have my 24.5 inches. So I'm going to mark that edge right there, and I shall be taking it all around to the other edge here. So exactly what I did here is what I shall be doing here, but this is the length of the gown, the peplum gown. So, having marked it, I shall be connecting these lines together. Now the lines has been connected. The next thing for me is to cut it out. Tracing the lines, I'm going to cut. Now, as you can see, I've cut it out. So it's in two pieces, which gives me the total of 360-degree peplum. So the next thing is to cut the upper part, the top of the gown. Now, like I said, in cutting the top, I told you that the top is 12.5 inches. So I shall be using a pattern to cut out the top because it's a designed peplum gown. Now this is what I shall be using to cut out the top length, the top of the gown. Now the shoulder length is 13 inches. It's 12.5 inches originally, but I've added 0.5 inches, making it 13 inches. Now that 13 inches, I divide it by 2, gives me 6.5 inches. So I will be marking 6.5 inches right here. So 6.5 inches. Now the circumference, that is the bust circumference, since this one is serving as 1/4 of the circumference, this is serving as 1/4 of the circumference. Now to get the circumference, I'm going to divide the circumference, that is the bust circumference, by 4, and the bust circumference is 28.5 inches. Now I shall be dividing it by 4. Whatever I have is what I shall be placing right on the particular place. But before then, I'm going to measure the length of the armhole. The length of the armhole, I shall be making use of 6 inches. I hope you can see it very well. I have 6 inches. Now, at the point here is where I shall be marking out the bust circumference. Where this line ends is where I shall be marking the bust circumference. Now 28.5 inches divided by 4, I have it here. Less than 7.5 inches. It's less than 7.5 inches. I have it here. Now plus 1 inch for my seam allowance. So I have it here, connecting the lines, the line. So coming to the waist, the base here is my waist. So I have the waist 24.5 inches. I'm going to divide it by 4. Whatever I have is what I shall be marking right here. So I have it here. plus 1 inch. Now the next thing is for me to connect these lines together. Having connected these lines, I move on to the neckline. The neckline, I shall be making it here 3 inches. Now for the depth of the neck, 3.5 inches. Now this is for the depth here is for the front panel. Now I'm going to as well mark out the back panel, the depth of the back panel, and I have it as 1.2 inches or 1.25 inches. I have it here. So I connect. So I'm going to make a curve shape here. Also here. So this one is serving as the back panel, the neck depth of the back, neckline, while this is for the front neckline depth. So the next thing is to make a curve at the armhole here. Now this is for the back armhole. Coming to the front armhole, I'm going to measure 0.5 from this line inward. I connect. Then I trace the line up here. Then I'll make it curve inward. Now this one is serving as the front armhole. So the first thing I shall be doing is to cut out this aspect out, and as well the back armhole stop. So I'm going to make a slope, the neckline slope, by 0.5 inches. And I will connect to this neckline. I'm going to cut out, that is for the slope, the neckline, the shoulder slope rather. So this is what I shall be using to cut out the the back panel, and as well the front. So the first thing right now here is to take my fabric. I'm going to fold it into, remember this one is 1/4, so I shall be folding this fabric into 2 first to cut out the back piece. Now, as you can see, the back piece has been cut. This one here serves as my zipper allowance, 1 inch. So is to just cut it into 2 equal parts at the base here. Now for the front panel, I'm going to cut out this neckline first. Having cut it out, I will also go right to the armhole line and cut out the curve on the armhole. That is for the front. I'm going to take my fabric, fold it into 2. For this, I'm going to place it on the the wrong side. Fold it into 2. Then I will use this one. I'm going to measure from this tip here. I'm measuring from this tip, not from this place. So I'm going to measure 4.5 inches here, 4.5 inches. I will cut this out. Haven't cut it out, then I show you the next thing. So shall be cutting it right on the line. I've cut it out, so I'm going to use this one, use this fabric, cut this one out, after which I use another one as the yoke, using this to cut out the yoke. Now as you see, I've used this to cut out this one here. Can you see? I've used it to cut it out. Then now this yoke, I've also used the piece which I cut off this one to cut out this. Remember, this one is 1/4. Because it's 1/4, I folded this into 2 and I place it right like this. I place it on it and I use it to cut it out. But I extended the length by 1 inch for the folding, so, or for the joining, the seam allowance. That's why you can see that the length of this is longer than this. So that is just that. Now, to cut out the lining, I will first join this one. I will join it this way. By the time I join it, it's going to stand like this. But this is how it's going to stand. I will just place it like this and seal this place up. Then, having sealed this place up, I will now use this to cut out the lining for the front panel of the top, and this one, the back pieces of the back panel, I will also place it on the lining and cut it out. So simple, just as simple as that. Then you now move further. Now, as you can see, I've stitched this one together, the yoke together. This is what I have. Haven't stitched it. I use this to cut out the lining for the front panel, and this is what I have. Then for the back pieces, I use the fabric to cut out the lining. This is the lining. So the next thing is to cut out the sleeve of this gown. Now for the sleeve, this is what I shall be using to cut out the sleeve. I folded it into 2. I have the width here to be 9¾ inches. Now from this place, I shall be marking downward. I shall be marking 6 inches. Now I'm going to connect from here to this point here. Now for the mouth sleeve, the round sleeve, I have it 11 inches, and 11 inches divided by 2 gives me 5.5 inches. I have my 5.5 inches here, plus 1 as my seam allowance. I have it here. Now here I shall be measuring 8.5 inches. I have my 8.5 inches here, plus 1 inch for the seam allowance. So that's why I have it here. So all I need to do is to make a curve inward by 0.5 inches up to this edge. Then I make a curve 1 inch for the wideness. So can you see? So I'm going to cut it out, but before then I will connect this line first to this line. The reason why the sleeve is like this is because it's a pleated sleeve. That's why the line from up is up to 6 inches to this place. So I'm going to cut it out. So this is what I shall be using to cut out the fabric for the sleeve. So I'm going to place my tape rule, here like this. And I will cut this off. Place another one. This one by 0.8 is less than 1 inch. So this is my final result of my sleeve. So the next thing is for me is to open it this way, and I will trim this space off up to this edge here. So we are done. All is to place it on my fabric and cut it out. Now I've used this to cut out the sleeve properly. This is what I have. So here is going to be at the front of the front panel, the front side of the front panel, while this side is going to be at the back side of the back panel. So when I'm through with all the stitches, I will show you what we have achieved so far. Now I've joined the top part of this gown to the peplum here. This is the front peplum. I've joined it to the front top here. Now for the back peplum, what I did was to slit it into 2 equal parts. Let me show you. I slitted it into 2 equal parts. I slitted it into 2. Then half of it, I stitch it with the side of the front peplum here. As you can see, I stitch it up to this edge, I left 1 inch. You can leave 1.5 inch open before I stitch the top to the front part of the peplum. Now this is the back piece of the back peplum. I attach it, or I stitch it to the top of the back piece of the gown. You can see I stitch it here. You see there is an opening here, which after which I'm going to close it up this way. I will hold it together like so, and I stitch it up to the armhole line here. Can you see? So the same thing is applicable to the other side. I stitch the back piece of the top to the peplum at the back, peplum of the back, and I stitch it together. Can you see? This is the back. Then the next thing I shall be doing right now is to close the side up. But before I close the side up, I have a band that I'm going to place on it. I'm going to show you the band. Now here is the band. The width of this band is 4 inches for the width, the wideness. Now the length here is 19 inches. So I folded it into two and I stitch it. Having stitched it, I turn it inward before I iron it. This is what I have. So I'm going to turn it this way and I will place it like so. I will place it like this. Can you see? Before, I'm going to place it like so. Before, I will now stitch the side. Can you see? Before I stitch the side, the both side. Now, having done that, the next thing for me will be to fix my zipper. So I'm going to hold it together like this. This is the back. Now this is the back where I shall be fixing my zipper. I will make sure this joining here matches with this one here. Can you see? So I will start my stitching right from the lower part, the bottom, like so. I will stitch it up to, from this joining here, I'm going to leave 4.5 inches. I will leave 4.5 inches. So I'm going to stitch right from the base to where my 4.5 inches reaches here. Having stopped there, then I will now fix my zipper right from the neck line to where I stopped here. By the time I complete this project, you will see the outcome. Now I fix the band and the zipper. I've also fixed the zipper, as you can see. So the next thing for me right now is to stitch the interface, the lining, the neck. Then I turn it inward, and as well the back side I will stitch and I turn it inward. That's the next thing for me to do. So I'm going to open the zipper. I've opened it so that it will be very easy for me to stitch the interface and turn it inward. Now I've also attached the interface. As you can see, this is the front part of the interface. Now for the back side, here is it. I place it on the right side of the fabric and I stitch and I turn it inward like so. So this is what I will have, and I stitch this edge. After that, I join the shoulder. Then after that, this is the lining of the peplum. I place it like this on each other and I make a little pleat. Can you see? Up to this end. Can you see? Up to this edge. Now the next thing for me now is to take this like so. I will stitch this one up first, then I place it on the zipper. I'm going to sew to somewhere here, depend on what you want, but I'm sewing somewhere here. After that, then I will now stitch this interface separately. Now we have come to the end of this tutorial. Here is what I finally got. So beautiful. Here is the back. Can you see? So neat and nice looking. This is the sleeve. I made it an overlap. Can you see? So nice and unique sleeve. Can you see that? So if you like my video, you can click on the liking button to appreciate my work. For those that have subscribed before and you have not subscribed, you can subscribe by clicking on the red button. Thanks for watching this video. Bye till we meet again.